champion Tennessee Volunteers. We'll jump right into questions. Rob had his hand up first, so we'll start with him.
Well, Coach, can you just put in perspective what it means to this team, this group of guys, to win a regular season title?
Well, obviously, Rob, I'm extremely proud, but I'm so blessed. Good Lord's blessed me with a group of guys that I think anybody in the country would want to coach. And these guys, from the time that we got back in the summer, before we went on our foreign trip, and we talked about with Santi and Josiah, especially, who's been through so much in our 5 years here, and they've done such an incredible job leading along with Zakai. But first of all, that was an unbelievable college basketball game. Two teams I thought just fought their hearts out, and I can't say enough about us coming in here winning, because the job that Lamont has done here, I mean, it's amazing. Really, the turnaround that he's put here, and his team, for them to go into the last week of the season with a chance to play for an SEC regular season title speaks volumes. But he's got terrific players, but what he's done is something that he should be commended for, and I don't think there's any question. I told him this, and I believe if I had a vote, I'd vote him National Coach of the Year, because this year is I can't imagine the SEC ever being any better than it is this year, and for him to do what he did is quite remarkable.
We'll go Mike, Wes, Ben, Ryan. Pass it back that way.
Yeah, Rick, you were the first person from the team to leave the court after going through the handshake line. Why did you get off so quickly, and what did you do after that?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, other than that's what I normally do. You know, when the game's over, I shake hands, I walk to the locker room, but just honestly, when I was walking back, just for the guys, I mean, I just know how hard these guys have worked and putting up with me every day, and especially Joe and Santi for 5 years, and which hadn't always been good. And I think they both tell you there's times they probably hated me, but the fact is there is a special bond with this group of guys. Mary Carter said to me before the game, she said, "You know, Coach, this team of guys, they really love each other." And I was thinking about some of those things, but again, I also thought about, you know, again, Lamont. I've been there too, and again, I just think he's done a great job. And I looked at his players, I shook their hands, I looked at them. I know how badly they want it, and that's how hard it is to win a regular season championship at any level. But just proud of the way we've been able to go up to this point. We've got one more game, but it was exactly the kind of game we thought it would be. I thought both teams really defended the other one well, and really with about 10 minutes to go, that's why we went with our older guys. We felt like we were going to have to put it on our defense, and other than the fact they were just putting their head down, just driving so hard to the basket, trying to get fouled. We defended them okay. I mean, we were getting her on the ball screen, but you got to give Michi credit for that, because he's such a hard guy to guard when he gets going to his right.
Rick, I know every game in the league sort of counts the same, but the past 3 games y'all have had were, when you look at the standings, almost sort of SEC championship games of their own. I mean, does that add a little something to this, especially with 2 of them being on the road like this?
Well, I told our guys we could use this in a way to prepare us for the future, because every team in our league, really, we had to go on the road at Missouri and didn't have a great night that night, but found a way to win, and then came home and, you know, I think it was A&M, then Auburn, I think, and who was the last one? Alabama, yes. And we knew that from the time that we were going to finish the season, really playing against every team that would be in the NCAA tournament. And so we knew it was going to be hard, but we looked at it, we said we got to embrace it, because we can learn a lot about ourselves and see if we can continue to get better and start forming the right mindset for, you know, postseason. But we knew it was going to be hard because of the respect, again, that we have for our opponents and the coaches in this league. And again, I can't imagine that the SEC's ever had a better basketball league with the teams that are in it right now, and great coaches in this league, and some really great young coaches. And but just proud of our guys, because we were able to win the regular season, and something they wanted to do, and just proud of that. And it's just truly a blessing that we've all were able to be a part of it.
Rick, you kind of touched on it there for a second, but I'm curious, with this time of the year, everybody talks about the NCAA tournament and conference tournaments. How much of a goal was it to win the SEC regular season rather than one of the tournaments coming up? How much did y'all talk about that specific goal?
Well, it was a goal that, our guys said it. I mean, there's no doubt that's what they wanted to do. But we, again, knew it would be hard. But it started long before today, like it did with South Carolina. It's a group of guys that they came together. It's something that they wanted to do. And when we lost early, we lost on the road to, I think, a really good Mississippi State team that came home and they beat us. But I think we've learned from every game. I do. I think we've learned something from every game, and I got to credit our younger guys, because what they've been able to do is they've continued to get better, which has helped our older guys. It's been fun watching our older guys tell those guys that, hey, we need you guys to go at us every day, and you guys watch practice, you see it. And but it's been a complete team program championship, because there's so many people that are involved with it that no one knows about, that has a lot to do with our guys being able to get on the court and do what they do. And again, it's just a true blessing to be around these guys in this program, and I just thank the good Lord for the opportunity I have had here at Tennessee.
Go Ryan, then we'll go across here to Grant and Page.
Where's this team improved the most since y'all started SEC play back in January?
I think that being in games like this, it seems like they've all been a tough, hard, certainly the last couple of weeks, but understanding each other more. And the one thing we don't want to do is totally rely on Dalton. And I thought maybe the biggest play of the game was the Kai's three. I thought that was a huge play at the time, and certainly his 4-point play was big. But I thought, and I told the coaches, we're relying on him a little bit too much. And they're a really good defensive team, excellent defensive team. When you try to isolate, they do a great job. They do a terrific job of staying in front of the ball, and they do a good job of getting in the gap, but yet they do a good job of recovering back. And I would say there's a lot of different areas, but I think maybe the biggest one is each guy starting to understand what he has to do to help this team be the best it can be as individuals.
Rick, where does that Dalton performance kind of compare to others, considering being on the road and everything on the line?
Well, the one thing about Dalton, he's not afraid. He's not. He's got a real short memory, and he's very confident. He thinks he can score. He thinks every shot he shoots is going to go in. And so he's a guy that I do think the guys feed off of him. I think he does give them confidence. But I did tell Z, I said, hey, you got to get busy right here, because I felt like we were just putting too much on him. And again, when they start talking, we talked about it, last game, Santi in the huddle, when those guys are really talking to each other and communicating the way they have been over the last couple of weeks, you've got a good thing going. And but Dalton's tough, and again, he's fearless, and he's not afraid of the moment, and so it's a good weapon to have.
After Page, we'll do two more. I've seen two more hands up. We'll go in the front here, then Reese.
Santi has overcome a lot personally this season. His dad in the stands to watch this way. Can you just describe who Santi is, what he's meant to this program, and especially this season, what he's overcome mentally?
Well, again, it's hard to talk about Santi without talking about Josiah, because Grant was back there with me just a little bit ago, and his group had set a pretty good standard for us and was really the foundation of where we have been able to move the program. But that year in between, when we had probably the most adversity that we had since we started at Tennessee, and Santi and Josiah carried it. And they have done more probably off the court than they have owned the court, in terms of they're both very unselfish, and they both are high-level competitors. They really want to win above everything else. For them to, people have asked me a number of times this year, did I ever worry about them being seniors and Dalton coming in and them deferring to him? They embraced him from the time that he came on campus, and been documented about he and Shaq going at it. And they told me long before we started gearing it up for the year what he could do, and you could tell their excitement. But those two guys do so much that doesn't show up on his stat sheet. Fix-it plays, winning plays, and but the fact we've been together 5 years, they mean a lot to me, and I'm going to miss them because they make me look good at times when they know I'm frustrated with some things, and they have a way of saying, "Coach, we got it," and because they know me better than anybody, but again, it's a blessing for me to have both of those guys for 5 years.
Coach, you guys held South Carolina at only 24 points in that first half, and I think they only had like 5 assists. How do you guys keep a team that moves the ball on offense as well as they do out of the paint, making them as uncomfortable as you did, especially in their own court?
Well, defensively, that's where it all starts. It always has with us. And Lamont does some really good things. He'll run a few concepts, and then they'll try to grind you and put you in a long possession. And then he puts his guys up. They did a great job. We knew we didn't want to switch as much as we did in Knoxville, and because they did a great job of taking advantage of those switches up there. And I thought we did a better job with our post defense here than we did up there. But I thought we defended their sets pretty well. But then again, they went to the high ball screen, and we were caught in between. Up there we were spread out too much. Here we were somewhere early. We were tight, and then I think as the game went on, and they were shooting threes. I don't know if they want to normally shoot that many or not, but then we're thinking, well, they're going to make some here or there, which they did at the end. And we did have one mistake at the end where Santi came in to overhelp a little bit. But it's all a team-oriented defense. I mean, we're not asking any one guy to do anything, but we do try to take pride in guarding the ball one-on-one. But everything we do is about how can we help each other and fix plays.
Last one from Reese.
Hey, Coach, back here, you've talked about a bunch of players, but how has Jonas Aidoo's outbreak this season kind of made the difference in you guys taking home a title this year?
Well, Jonas has been a huge part of it. We all obviously love what he gives for us, but we want more. I told he and Tobey they got to finish some of those shots for us in there because it takes so much pressure off the perimeter guys if we can do that. But it's what Jonas, again, around the rim, his length is a major factor for us on the defensive end, and Jonas can score the ball. He really can, and we just want him to be aggressive. But him, we wouldn't be here today without Jonas. We wouldn't be here without Tobey. We wouldn't be here without any of them. I mean, every guy on this team has played a role that's helped us get here, and every one of those guys that have played the main minutes have won games for us in different ways. But like I thought the other night at Alabama, Jemai Meshack was a difference in the game. And so it's been like that this year with different guys stepping up at different times, which is what we love about this team, and I think that's the respect they all have for each other.
Thanks, everyone.